charismatic.
Hey everybody, I wanted to jump on here real quick. I made a video the other day on quality of life, and this may ruffle a couple feathers, and however, I am doing it intentionally because I feel like, as for me, and this is just my opinion, everybody's circumstances are different, and I just believe, even if your circumstance is different, that we should allow our kids to experience a certain quality of life. And that's not meaning material things or having things. It is a mental quality of life. I know myself, if you're my generation or generations before me, we were either forced to grow up fast or we made a decision to grow up fast. In my case, I made a decision to grow up fast. But there were obstacle circumstances and situations that led me to make that decision because I was exposed. What I mean by exposed is that I seen certain situations. I thought this is the way life's supposed to be because what was presented to me at an early age by relatives, environments, and so forth. But as I have children now, and I deal with a lot of things, and some of those things is because I made a decision to grow up fast. I had certain anxieties and experiences and dramas and traumas in my life, all because I decided to do things a certain way. And granted, some of those were not only decisions, it was because a certain quality of life was exposed to me. Now that I have the knowledge and understanding of myself in the spiritual guidance, I refuse to let my kids grow up a certain way. And some of us can have complete control of that, what they experience, what they're exposed to. So what are those experiences? Hey, my son is 12 years old, about to be 12. I still have picnics with him. I still sit down and paint. We watch Marvels. I do things that's conducive for a 12-year-old. I place him in environments for a 12-year-old, including my 3-year-old. Well, she's about to be 3. There are certain places I won't place them because I knew at an early age I was placed in certain environments and things like that. And that's because my mom's generation and things of that forth wasn't prone or had the opportunity and came into the knowledge and understanding of environments. But I do. And the more you come into understanding of something, the more you're responsible to apply that, not only in your life, but in your children's life. So there are certain things that I do with my 12-year-old to make sure he understands that he doesn't have to take life on at an early age. Yeah, he's going to experience some things as a 12-year-old, probably in school. He's going to be exposed to things with other children because he's going into middle school. That's fine, but I educate him on those things, whether it's sex, whether it's bullying, whether it's befriending other kids. I bring him into the knowledge of what it is you're going to be exposed to. But I'm just glad I have an opportunity to give him the knowledge from home instead of letting the world conform him. I can show him how to adapt but not conform. See, it's a difference when you adapt. You adapt to mean that I can survive in this situation, regardless if it's not my chosen situation or, it's not my ideal situation. But conforming is everybody else is doing it, so I'm going to do it, and this is what it's supposed to look like, the world. So since I have the advantage to do that, I'm not going to say that he's going to not steer away, but the path of him steering away is going to be short. He's going to get back on path. I can't say this enough. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I am still raising children. But the experiences I have, the knowledge and the wisdom that I have, the resources and the support system that I have is amazing. Like their grandmother does things, gardening and taking them places and educating them when they go over there on the weekends and going through their heritage and their culture with them. So some people think that old school can't be new school. There are certain things that is still valuable. The value just increasing it, so the teachings of our elders take away, it becomes valuable from the old school and bring it into the new school. Now, everything somebody say to you because they're older is not wisdom just because they're of age. It's information. But wisdom is to be applied. You have to see it being applied in that person's life. It works for them. So it should, if it works for them, it's worked for me. But if you're looking around and it possibly is not working for them, then that may not be advice to take, in my opinion. But however, let's give our kids a different quality of life. Let's expose them to things, riding horses, going to piano, playing tennis, things that we think is unfit or we didn't have the opportunity to do. Let's expose our kids to it. Let's get them in more literature. Let's get them in more whatever it is, going outside, gardening, and just other opportunities. But maybe everybody life wasn't structured like mine. Excuse me, I'm always having these bloopers. But however, if you have that opportunity, do so. That's all I'm saying, because what I experienced at an early age, I would not want my children to experience that mental and emotional unstability and unbalancement, or that spiritual defiance and disobedience. Just if I can expose them to it now, I can't control every heartbreak, but it could have some type of impact for when they get older. They could choose more wisely than what I chose it. So let's get to that place where we're creating them a different quality of life. And it doesn't have to be money or materialized or tangible things that we expose them to, or it's just the renewing of the mind to have a different outlook. Because when you have a different outlook and renewing of the mind, you begin to process things differently, where you don't feel everything is a negative impact. Because in a Black culture, for me, let me go back because I don't want to put anything, because everybody probably thinks different. Some of y'all probably haven't been through nothing, but heck, I've been through things, a lot of things. Trauma is there. You don't think it opposes anything in your future or your life or your present, but it does. It has. And been on this self-journey, self-awareness, self-love, all that stuff comes back and it features into what is my mindset that I had previously. It caused some impact there. So I wanted to jump on here and say that let's do it. I don't have all the means to do certain things, but what's in my means, I try to do for my children, because God is not worried about the little that you have. Not about the little that you have. God wants to know, what did you do with what I've given you? It goes back to the story in the Bible about the talents. It's not how many of them. It's not how much of it. It's not when you come into the knowledge of understanding of something, then from that point of that learning, you have to be responsible of how you manage it and how you handle it. And that's what God, I want to know, with what I gave you, your life, your circumstance, your finances, your mindset, your opportunities, what did you do with it? He gave me these kids to manage. So when He asked me what did I do with it, I want Him to say, job well done.
Quizmatic.